mi gente? So aquí estamos on my table talk from my house to your home, the loyal family. We're here. Today's subject is sibling jealousy. A lot of my fans have been asking, this is one of the topics you guys wanted us to touch. So we're going to touch this topic. I have my daughter, Crystal Lamboy, and the youngest, Leanna Lamboy. I have 2 children. And this subject is a little different for me because I don't have a sibling jealousy because there's 3 brothers. I'm the only girl. I really don't have a sister with my mom that I grew up with every day on an everyday basis at home. I do have 8 brothers and sisters from my father's side, but it's a difference there. That's another story. Right now, I want to ask you, Crystal. I want to ask you, Leanna. Do you really feel there's a jealousy? Like, because I don't love you more than I love you. One tolerates me more than the other. That's what it really comes down to.
Okay.
One of you's respect a little more and could tolerate my attitude. Doesn't get so angry at me. One of you's, Miss Lamboy, has a shorter temper and seems to get angry when you was a teenager, young. You have more of a shorter temper. It'll look like people will say, oh, you love Leanna more because you don't argue with her. No, I argue more with Crystal because Crystal gave me the toughness. I had to give her tough love. If not, my daughter would have been all over the place. Now, I really pray to God that y'all don't feel no jealousy. That would break my heart.
No.
But I'm going to ask you, and this is a topic that you guys pick, and I'm very nervous about it because I don't think I really want to know what they feel.
Right.
Those are my babies. Like, I love them both to death. I'll go to the end of the earth. But is there a sibling? Do you girls are jealous of each other?
No, I have a question. No, I have a really good question. So if me and Leanna were hanging off of a cliff, who would you save?
Man, I would have to hold on to both of you and jump off.
Yeah, we
all jump together.
That's a fact.
Ride or die forever. I'm not gonna lift one child up. Unless that you be like, Mom, let's throw Leanna and me and you go together.
No, I'm not gonna.
I'm not, and she's not gonna live without us. No, I'm not sacrificing, but I'm saying, you know.
I'm really messing with you. You know what?
You would do that because you're overprotected with your sister.
Yeah.
You do that a lot.
Now let me say this: being the older sister, I have a duty to protect her and also you, because you're my mom. You're delicate to me, and you know, I know you're strong, but I feel like my job as the elder, you know, the oldest child, the firstborn, is to protect. So as far as jealousy, young, it was hell on earth.
Really?
But,
really?
Yeah, the jealousy, it was there. I think it was there more for me than her though.
Yeah. I didn't really notice much. I was
quiet.
quiet.
She was younger. That's one. Young kids, they don't see jealousy.
Yeah.
And they don't see rivalry until you reach a certain age. I think that's junior high school age. But elementary school, I was already in junior high school. I was already grouchy, starting to go through my menstruation. And that was when I just realized that Leanna was this delicate little baby in your eyes. And I was the tough one.
Yeah.
That's
true. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, but I was character-wise. I've always been the.
You always been the.
And I think my body's always fit.
And even Maddie's big like the way you was.
You know, because compared to me and Leanna, you're so much taller. You was always. You know.
I had to realize that the fact that I was built stronger was more of what you considered than the fact that Leanna was so tiny. She's really a petite. You women are petite women. So I'm sure you looked at it like, but she's this tiny little fragile thing and you're this strong little truck driver. And that's kind of what played a role.
It was unfair to you.
I don't think it was unfair. I think you was doing your best. Now as a woman, I see that. As a kid, I felt it was unfair. But you live and you learn.
Oh, I'm so sad.
You gotta be sad. Don't be sad for a lady.
Yeah, because remember guys, one day we're going to talk about my life. I was an extremely young mother, extremely young. I should have been in high school, not having a baby.
Right.
you know, and I did not know what mother is. And I really didn't know. I used to get jealous of other pretty girls when I was pregnant. That's it, but not, I never had that sister to get. I'm sorry I got teary. And it's because, I love my girls. This is why I breathe every morning. I wake up every morning. It's for you girls.
I agree.
And the fact is, I always install in both of you to be tight. No matter how mad you get, you could be mad, don't talk to each other 2 or 3 days, but you cannot do 3 and 4 years of not talking to each other. Because my aunt and my mother did it. Michael's mother and aunt did it. I have a lot of friends that's done it, and they regret it. It's like, why did we do it?
You just
why?
lose years. You lose years.
Why did we do it? For what reason? Once you get back together, it's like you never lost that beat. So why you stop that? That's ridiculous. That's the only thing I always ask you girls, is never to stop in the day I die, that you girls have each other.
Right.
How do you feel about?
I don't know. Like, sibling jealousy would be. As a kid, I really didn't think anything of like that. I would just be like, I want to be with my mom. I want to be with my mom. I don't want to stay over nobody's house. I just want to be with my mom. I swear to God, that's all that ran through my head. I really, really didn't look at my sister. And I would go to my sister for food and stuff. Like, she would cook for me. But I really didn't look at it as sibling jealousy at all. And she even was really different from me. Like, she had an imagination, I didn't.
Yeah, Crystal would go. She was like little Einstein.
She had an imagination, I didn't. I was like, I want to be with my mom. Like, So, I really didn't. And she didn't really want to be with you. She was like, oh, I'll go on vacation with my grandmother. I'll go with my dad. I'll go here. And I was like, I just want to be with my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I don't know, sibling jealousy, that's hard because I never felt like...
That's why for me it's a very hard topic, but I know a lot of our fans, a lot of the people that view us do go through
it. Siblings do go through it. They feel like their mom loves one kid more than the other.
Listen, I've looked at shows, documentaries where siblings kill each other. That's how deep the hate goes, and it's scary. Where siblings will leave another sibling in the street if they're homeless. And it can get really bad. And, the best thing I can tell, all the fans, everybody that looks and listens, even if you're not a fan and you're just tuning in and wanted to listen, life is really short.
Yeah.
And blood is always thicker than water. I mean, I know you have 1 or 2 friends that'll be ride or die with you forever, sometimes even closer than your own siblings. So, it is hard to just say, oh, if your sibling isn't as, just ignore it, don't be around them, stay away. No, you have to amend that relationship. That's something, you have to do it for your parents. I believe so. And that's my belief. Everybody has their own belief. I wish I could take the questions from people, but I really believe there's no hate in the world where you can just hate the person that came out of your mother's womb. I don't get that.
I don't think hate, but what I do think is not hate. That's ridiculous. I do feel like everyone is entitled to get mad.
Of course.
Because people grow up and have their own beliefs. And that's where the disagreements come along.
Can I speak from a professional point of view, who's worked with the mental field for so many years, who's worked with, children in development and getting to know how the mind works and how people think. First thing is, no 2 people will ever be the same. Yes, we will have things in common. Are men created equal? That is a question that we probably ask ourselves daily. The truth is that we might not physically be created equal, but we all share the same air, we all have the same red blood that runs through our veins, and we all need these specific things to survive. So do we have more in common than we don't? Yes, unfortunately, when it comes to siblings, whether parents realize it or not, it is very easy to show favoritism. Now, jealousy, rivalry does not always come from favoritism. It can come from other things like emotional backgrounds, barriers, things they've been through, and things that they experience. Now, for instance, often you see two siblings, right? Both gorgeous, great jobs, both finished school. One has a husband, one doesn't. Or one is more about the career, one isn't. Or one makes more money and lives in an apartment. The other one has a house, a condo. So sometimes you'll see the inequality in the family, and then people might ask themselves, why am I not there? What am I not doing? Why do they deserve it and I don't? Now, if you ever find yourself in this place, and I always tell people this, work harder. Work harder. Work on the image it is you want for yourself, and you have to find that inner love for yourself, because that's when you start to glow. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because younger, I've always been the overweight child, and these are things that play factors in my life. Doesn't mean it plays a factor in their life. As you see, they didn't experience the same emotions that I did growing up, and that's okay. See, you have to want to grow. 2, seek the knowledge you need in order to grow, and 3, put that into practice.
And move it forward.
And move forward.
You can't stay stuck in that anger because you'll never grow.
Now, that's what I wanted to get to. When you stay stuck in that anger and you allow that to move you, to make your daily moves, and
to mold you.
Yeah, to mold the person you are, you might start to see someone that you do not like, and that can be very deceiving, because sometimes we are our own worst enemies. Jealousy is an enemy of yours, I promise you. Because if you think someone's doing better than you, work harder. Ask them what are they doing to get to where they're at. See, me and my sister, one of the best relationships, I gotta say, when it comes to siblings, me and my sister decided that at a certain age we wanted to be more mature than the examples that have been set for us, or than the things that we have seen growing up. Coming from the Bronx, coming from a place that they say is less educated, we're last in everything, I think it was more of an objective for me and Liana to excel in life, achieve, and do it together, support one another for that to be possible. So we've developed a very tight bond, but we do fight sometimes.
Oh man, wait a minute. Hey, let's not paint this up pretty.
Yeah, we fight.
Drove me nuts. And yes, you know what? That was a thing. Yes, I remember that. I remember you always felt like, oh, I'm chunky. Liana's skinny. She looks prettier than me. She's pretty. And you know, it would frustrate me because I wanted you to be like, no matter if you're chunky, skinny, strong, and you're beautiful.
And I thank you for that.
Always told you you're beautiful.
That built something in me, and that's something that I aspire with our children. Me and my sister both, we push for our daughters to be strong, because
nothing but women in the house.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't care what color or culture you are. It is important to be a strong woman.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many societies outside of ours that demise and minimize women. We should not minimize one another, especially by hating one another, not liking somebody.
That's
they have
jealousy. You know,
it's very ugly. You know, personally, I have to say this: more than jealousy that me and Liana went through was rivalry. We had more rivalry than jealousy. It was like, get the clothes off the bed, and oh my God, did you take my socks? I was always taking her socks. Or like, Liana, where are my shades? She would tell me she doesn't know. Boom, she's had them for like 6 months. Silly things that I think.
But never malice. Yeah, never did malice.
No, any siblings could relate, and I'm so grateful for it. I would do this 1,000,000 times over than to grow up an only child.
Yeah,
which is what hurts me about my child. I'm a mom of one child, and I wish she had what I had with you.
Yeah.
Because I think it's good for structure. It's good for social skills, and it's also good for learning how to
a discipline. Sometimes
discipline, right? And how does someone go
and sharing.
Yeah, like that discipline, because it's like you don't want to hurt your sister, so you like, let me calm down.
Because that's my sister at the end of the day.
I think that comes with maturity.
Yeah, and I also think like you never want.
It really does.
Yeah, you never want to compare your life to someone either, because that does bring jealousy. So never ever look at the next person and be like, oh well, you know, how does she have that, or Oh, how does that man love her? You just don't want to look at that.
If anything, I feel. See, I have sisters from my father's side. My sister Sammy, and I have 4 sisters from my dad's side. And I don't. That's why it's this topic. I felt I did it for you, my fans. It was hard for me because I never felt jealousy over my sister.
Really, that's awesome.
Sam is just such a good big sister.
She is.
Now, when everything happened, that one of my sisters left with the mother, and I kind of felt like when my dad died, like they just left and abandoned ship. You know, that's a whole other subject. I can get into that.
But
now.
it wasn't jealousy. You just felt like
I was angry.
Okay.
You know, because things were supposed to happen that didn't, and you know. It wasn't my little sister's fault. It became to be the parents' fault.
Of course.
Her parents and my father.
When you're a minor, things are not.
So I never held that anger against her. So with me, Sam, with
your sister,
with all of them, like when we hang out and we laugh and we giggle, and I see my sister put on a pretty dress. And I see Amanda looking pretty pregnant, and how could I be jealous of my sister looking pretty? If anything, I'd be like, sis, your hair, sis, you got a book on, sis, lipstick, clean the shit, man, because we buck tooth. And my father's side of the family, he got some big ass teeth. So I'd be like, yo, clean up your lipstick. That's why to me it's so hard. To say jealousy, because I want the best for my sister, and that's the only thing I can tell you guys is to wish and always want the best for your siblings, and you realize that there's no need to be jealous. Wanting the best for them takes away all that other negativity,
and it takes away from you. It takes away from your light. It dims your light when you try to dim others.
Worrying about someone else's.
Yes. You have to worry about yours. You have to grow. You can't do that with other things on your mind. You need space to focus. And I just have to say how proud I am to be the big sister of her, because you see this little truck driver right here, this little firecracker. She is a result of me. She's a result of me, her big sister. I guided her. I made sure she didn't do the wrong things. And even though she always had a good head on her shoulders, she knew no matter how good the head on her shoulders was, I was always going to make sure that it was on straight.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, she probably did that with me more than I did with her. Because I was a lot more tougher. I fought a lot more. I was a lot louder. I was a party kid. I was a teenager who wanted to go to parties. So independent.
That's another subject, but since we're talking about sibling rivalries, this is where I'm going to switch the subject. It's not about sibling rivalries, but I want to bring a point. This is where it looked like I favored Leanna. She was so angry as a teenager. She was, how you could say that?
I was disrespectful. I was blatantly disrespectful, spoiled. When my mom didn't do things and it didn't go my way, I gave her hell.
Yes, and the back mouth and the backside, the pat. And then she'd be like, why don't you hit Leanna? Because Leanna would be like, Leanna would sit quiet and go away to her room. So then she'd be like, well, why you didn't hit Leanna? You see what I mean? She'd be like, you punk, you stay quiet because you're scared of mommy. She gave, so it looked like I defended her and like I hit her more, but me and Leanna needed to make sure. Leanna would tell me, Mommy, Crystal's over there. That's not healthy for her. She's with the wrong friends. Yep, Leanna was that blabbermouth.
So guys, I want to make a point here. I have 2 kids, and I want to say that London is definitely like, she's a kid I never have to talk to really, and Scarlett is one that I always have. Scarlett is a tough kid.
That's like, she's just like you.
She's tough. She tells me no. She says, don't touch me. Scarlett is a very tough kid, and she beats up her older sister sometimes. So me being a mom of 2, I know that you can literally give birth to 2 different kids with 2 different attitudes and have to handle them 2 different ways. Yes. And London says, I think you love Scarlett more than me. And I'm like, why would you say that? Because every time I come around, you send me to my room. I'm like, London, I don't love either kid more, but when you come around, she gives hell. So I try to separate you guys for the moment. It's just like a break thing, you know what I mean? It's not like I separate them for hours, but I'll be like, can I get 15 minutes? Go to your room. And when it's like, that's not fair, she's there. But if I have them together, I'll go into the room, the bed be on the floor, Scarlett would take all her clothes out the dresser, try to get dressed, bring the lollipops in the room, and eat all the candy, all the snacks. Scarlett is different.
That's how you was too. Crystal, I would do food shopping, and she was such a smart. My daughters were very. You see, Scarlett. A lot of people think Scarlett is 3-4 years old. Crystal looks just like Scarlett when she was a baby.
Yeah.
It's something unreal. The behavior, the attitude, the sassiness. So I had to gritar, puñeta, ¿qué tú estás haciendo? And I had to scream out, gritar. Leanna was like, oh shit, what the hell is Leanna? Sometimes I would even forget Leanna exists because she was really a quiet. I don't know how she does all this YouTube and TV stuff because she's such a quiet person.
Shy.
Very shy.
Leanna was always intimidated by large crowds.
And never liked big crowds. She never liked public transportation.
Me, I was a life of a party.
Me too.
You cannot bring me anywhere and expect me to be quiet. That's number one. Number two, I'm a social butterfly, and I tend to leave.
Oh man, she got that from her mama. I'm crazy. I'm not gonna paint mi gente. Yo soy loca. I love to hang out. I like to have my drinks. I like to go out on the weekend. I'm spontaneous. I want to get up and go to Florida. I want to get up and go to Florida. I want to get up and go to Puerto Rico. I get up and go to I work hard enough.
Not me, but I guess I'm like my dad.
Yeah, very conservative.
Conservative is the perfect word. Because even her beliefs are a little conservative.
She's very conservative, okay. Me and you are more open-minded.
Yes, we're open-minded.
Very open-minded.
A little too open-minded.
See how funny it is? Everybody says, look at this. Oh, Leanna's your favorite. Every time I go on a trip, Leanna won't go on a trip. Who's my trip girl?
Me.
Who's my hangout partner?
Me.
So, you see, that's what gets me mad. I even have friends tell me, oh, but Leanna's your baby, right? She lives with you. I'm like, no, she lives with me because she wants to. Not because I have a chain to the damn radiator. You know, so it shows you. But yes, Crystal gave me hell. Crystal really, I've cried. Crystal was,
Rough kid.
I was a young mother.
You know?
You taught me how to be a mother.
Yeah.
You taught me self-control because I couldn't beat you and hit you.
So guys, right?
You taught me.
It comes down to, I guess, kids, teenagers, whatever, even adults. If you ever felt like a mom loved one more, take a look at yourself. Maybe be like, why does my mom not respond like that to me? Or, you know, what it is. Because living in this family, we have all type of attitudes, all type of
we have tough, what?
We have all type of it. So I see, like, even when my sister's trying to be calm, I see attitudes and I'm like, okay, that does cause this causes that. So guys, just take a look at yourself, kids. Take a look at yourself and you'll probably see a big difference if you change within yourself. A big difference from your mom's response towards you.
Can I add to that? Now, when you look at changing yourself, be who you are, be genuine and be true to who you are. But also just think about how you come off. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Always think of those things. I also want to put this message out for the children or the young teenagers. I want you guys to understand that childhood is temporary. It is just a moment in time of your life.
And enjoy it.
High school is temporary. You will get through it. Being young is temporary. Feelings, emotions can be temporary.
Yes.
I want you to always keep that in mind. And more than anything, I want you to understand that if you feel your parent is leaning more towards your sibling, one, look at the needs of your sibling as well as the needs of yourself. Right. And also, aside of that, never feel like it's your fault. It doesn't matter how you act. I don't care if you're crazy. I'm gonna tell you from being the crazy kid. It doesn't matter if you're crazy climbing off the wall. I promise you, whether you're crazy and your mom shows more attention to your little brother, I promise you there's that love inside of your mother that yearns for you and wants to see you grow and protected. And she knows what you can handle. She knows what you can't. Always trust your mom.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
And one thing I do want to say, which my daughter hit the bullseye. Both my daughters, of course, you know, they're my babies. So proud of them. Is that it's extremely important. Sometimes when a mother leans to a child more, it's because they need it. My mother always explained to me, my brother, she always told me, I tell her, Mom, you know, maybe you could consider that jealousy. So I want to retract a little bit, but I always told my mom, you're always with deep. And she told me, I don't have to worry about you. I know you're working. I know you're stable. You have a house. You're so independent. You're such a strong woman. Don't ever think I love you any less. I just need to guide this one a little more.
Yeah. And moms,
never forget that.
Moms, I can't stress this enough. As a person who works with children and families, please tell your children that you love them every day. I don't care if they just broke your TV and ruined your life. Let them know you love them.
Yeah.
Okay, mi gente. This is a table talk here from mi casas to your casas, from our loyal family to yours. Thank you for joining the table talk today with both my beautiful daughters, Crystal and Liana. Once again, from our loyal family to your loyal family. Please send your suggestions, your questions, and any other topics you want us to hit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Comment.
How you say?
Comment down below.
Comment down below. What you say? Share.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. I gotta get those words together, mi gente. Porque
So
de verdad
guys,
I'm forgetting.
Comment down below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think about it. We are all for the intakes, guys.